Hello guys, John here from Gaming in the Wild with another video for you, something a little bit different today. It is a review. It's a little bit longer than the short ones I usually post, but this game deserves it. It's about a card game that has been sweeping the internet called Balatro. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please like, drop a comment. You can always subscribe for more like this, and I'll give you details about the Patreon if you want to support the channel at the end of the video. With that said, let's get straight into it and talk about Balatro. So Balatro is a roguelike deck builder by an anonymous developer called Local Thunk, with a soundtrack by Lewis F. It's published by PlayStack. It came out on the 20th of February, and it's available on Switch, Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation. On How Long to Beat, players have registered times of anything from 5 to 121 hours, but what you call finishing this game is up for debate. 5-hour people might have finished a single run, 121-hour people might have unlocked every deck, every card, and every joker. I've played about 50 hours, and I still have a long way to go. It's been a critical smash. Metacritic has it at 90. Screen Rant gave it 9 out of 10, and said that Balatro offers countless hours to engage its treacherous machine of diversion. Polygon also liked it and said it will make you into a card counter in a game where every card counts. Before you know it, you'll be all in. And my summary of this one is that it's a poker-based roguelike deck builder that gets its hooks in quickly, then never lets go. The stacking multiplier system is simple to learn but tricky to master, and as you experiment with different builds, the thrill of seeing a hand burst into flames never gets old. So this is the most fiercely addictive roguelike deck builder I have played since Slay the Spire. I do have 50 hours in it over 2 weeks, which seems insane, but just one more run is never just one more with Balatro. I finished runs with 10 different decks now, but there is still more to unlock. It's showing no signs of letting up on the content. And it is a card game with a lot of systems and rules. It's been a challenge for content creators and reviewers trying to concisely explain what this game is without getting lost in the weeds. But I'm going to do my best for you, so I hope you'll stick with me for the ride. The basics of this game are that you have to make up poker hands to reach a certain winning score. So you're not playing against another player, you're playing against a blind. That is a certain amount of chips you have to hit to pass the level. Every time you play a hand, every card adds chips to the pile of your score, equivalent to their number value. So for example, if you play 3 8s, you're going to get 24 chips. But the kind of hand you play adds a multiplier, so your 3 8s are 3 of a kind and they will have given you 24 chips. And a 3 of a kind gives you a ×3 multiplier. That means you're going to score 72 points from your 3 8s. But 72 isn't a great score. The first winning blinds you have to hit are 300, then 450, and then 600. And they are reachable with a couple of decent hands, but you're going to need something better than 3 8s. And there are various tools available to build better hands, the most important of which is discards. You can choose to discard and replace cards you don't want in your hand. So let's say you've got those 3 8s and a handful of rubbish, with a queen being the highest. I would discard everything but the 8s and the queen. And if luck is on my side, maybe I pull a second queen. So now I've got 3 8s and 2 queens, and that's a full house. That gets a better score. The 8s and the queens will score 44 chips, and a full house will add a ×4 multiplier, as it's a more difficult hand to make. So you got 176 from that hand, and now you're on your way to hitting that first target of 300. So that's how the hands work, but there's a metagame here too. You have 4 hands to hit each blind. If you fail, it's game over. If you win, you get some prize money and move on to the next one. To win a complete run, you have to ascend through 8 different levels. Each one has 2 games and then a boss. Bosses have an extra challenge, like all your cards being pulled face down, or a very, very high blind to hit, or something even more brutal, like only being able to play 1 hand to hit a high blind. So you need to find some more ways to start scoring heavily and quickly, and that is where things get interesting. The word Balatro means jester, and that's because jokers are all important in this game. Jokers are wild cards that will do something to your hand. For example, a simple joker might add +4 to your multiplier, which will really help you in early levels. It might give you bonus chips for every even-numbered card you play. It might give you extra chips or multiplier from playing face cards like jacks, queens and kings, or aces. And it might let you skip a number if you're playing a straight, which is very, very handy if you're running a straight build. You buy jokers using your winnings, they're always random, and stacking jokers on jokers on jokers will lead to a build. There are 150 jokers in this game and they all interact in different ways. So there's a lot to discover, there's room for creativity, there's room for paying attention and learning the game, putting jokers together in unexpected ways, and before long you'll be hitting huge scores with your jokers and your build. My record for one hand is currently 169,000, which is very good to me, but YouTube is full of people who've cracked the system and they're scoring in the millions with a winning build. So the possibilities are endless here. It took me about 5 hours to get my first win. You get an unassuming little victory window, but every victory unlocks more stuff, like new jokers to try, new decks with different boons and handicaps, like a black deck where you have less hands to win, a nebula deck with reduced slots for buffs, and a checkered deck which only has 2 suits. So there's always something new to try, and the game keeps ramping up the challenges and keeps you on the hook, seemingly indefinitely. And there are other layers to the game as well. You can buy booster packs in the shop, planet cards that will power up individual hands so you can get a more powerful pair or a more powerful flush with more multiplier. Tarot cards will buff individual cards, so you can maybe get a gold stamp on your king or a blue stamp on an ace that will make it do something special. And there are Spectre cards that do all kinds of weird things too. So every deck you build is different, and there's always something new to discover. And I think that's why Balatro works the way it does. It has a huge amount of variety, built on an easy-to-understand foundation. The jokers are many and have diverse effects that interlock with each other in clever, unexpected ways. A few of my favourites are a joker that makes all your cards be recognised as a face card, that is a jack, queen or king. I didn't see the benefit of it first, but when I paired it with another joker that made every face card add to the multiplier, suddenly every card in my deck was mega powerful. I felt like I'd made a real discovery, and I got a winning run with that formula. There's also a joker that eats other jokers, getting more powerful every time it does, so you have to play for cash to constantly be feeding it more jokers. There is a vampire joker that will consume those gold and blue and purple stamps and status effects from your cards and get stronger every time. There is a hiker joker that makes every card you play get slightly more powerful, so if you get it at the start of a run, it can get you a long way. And all of this adds up to a real winning formula. The joker combinations seem endless, it's very addictive, every run feels different. You don't know what will become your most powerful hand on any given run. It might be a flush run, or you might end up winning by playing single cards, or feeding jokers to another all-consuming joker. So within this formula is a seemingly endless amount of variety, and I think that's born out of some real ingenuity in the design here. So chapeau and well done to Local Thunk, you did it, you cracked the system. This is a deck builder that belongs with the greats. It's sold 500,000 copies since it launched, and that number is only going to multiply from here. That's Balatro. So that's my review of Balatro. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like. You can share it with a friend, that would be really helpful. And comments help the videos to rise to the top and help more people to see them. This is a young channel that I'm building here, so I really appreciate everyone who is finding it in these early days, and especially people that are willing to give it a like, a share, a comment, and subscribe for more. If you really do like the channel, there's also a Patreon. You can join it at patreon.com/gaminginthewild. For $1 a month or more, you'll get bonus episodes and an invite to our wonderful members-only Discord server. It's a very quiet, peaceful, fun corner of the internet where a bunch of nice folks are talking about games all day long. I actually found Balatro because of a recommendation there, so thanks very much to B Sushi of the Pixelated Playgrounds podcast. That's it for this episode. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you on the next one.